eminent guest on the board with us, Mr. Jonathan Daniels. Mr. Jonathan, I hope I'm audible to you.
Yes, I can hear you, and I hope you can hear me too.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Just give me 2 minutes before I hand it over to you. Let me introduce you to the audience.
Okay,
Right?
I will share my screen afterwards also.
Sure, sure. Mr. Jonathan Daniels is currently co-founder and director CX Brussels, Belgium. He has managed large IT and organizational transformational programs, and at present, he dedicates his time in co-creating training and coaching organizations and leaders, giving practical tips on becoming customer-centric. And prior to this, he has worked as a director for Daniel Solutions Limited. He holds a MSc degree in program and project management from University of Warwick. So, with these words, I welcome Mr. Jonathan Daniels once again on the virtual platform of Entrepreneurship Summit 2021. So, over to you, Jonathan Ji, for your
Yes,
words of wisdom.
okay. Thank you very, very much for this. I will share my screen. I wanted to share a portion of it. There we go. Okay, so I hope you can see my screen now.
Absolutely, sir. It's
Now,
visible.
just put that in presenter view as well. Give me 1 second. Might be this one. Okay, good. So it's a real pleasure to be here to see so many students who are all interested in entrepreneurship. Thank you very much to Surendra who invited me here. So I'm Jonathan Daniels, originally from the UK, and I moved to Belgium around 5 years ago. And as Yashna said, my background is in computer science and business, project and program management. I did a master's in this, and then I went on to manage projects in large companies, which I'll show you. Um, I I have I direct CX Centric, which is a consultancy based in Belgium, but we do have clients all over the world. We do training, consulting, coaching, and I also do speaking. So here, some of the previous clients that I've worked with in the past, many large businesses, basically normally doing IT projects, normally doing business transformations, this sort of thing. So in this speech, I'll do a general introduction about myself and where I started. After I'll talk a bit about customer experience and customer centricity. So I will just glide over that topic so you will get a bit of an overview of that. And then I will finish off with my entrepreneurship learnings, actually. So what I've actually learned after making the decision to say, okay, I want to run my own business now. I don't want to work for others. So I will talk about a bit of the learnings that I've had. And also, before I start, I wanted to mention that, guys, if you have any questions, just ask. Just put them in the chat because actually it's important to ask questions. This is how you learn. You know, you can come and you can just listen to a speech, or you can just listen to a speech and say, okay, how does this apply to me? What question can I ask so I can really get the most out of this as quick as possible in my journey, you know? So I'm encouraging you guys to ask questions. So yeah, so this is something that we do. We offer trainings. So I'll partner with a few other um, of my colleagues, and we put together some training offerings. So just to show you guys this is some stuff that you can do as an entrepreneur. You start doing one thing, but then you see some other opportunities that relate to what you're doing, and you can just add. So this is just something I want to show you. So where I started, maybe about 10 years ago, I was there sitting managing projects, you know, and I said to myself, oh, okay, I'm working for these big companies, but I really would love to do my own thing. So I just researched some random products, and I saw this phone case, and it flashes whenever you receive a call. And I just went onto Alibaba and I just bought 100 of these cases. And then I just went into some random shops and I said, okay, let's try and sell these. And I managed to sell them to a few phone shops by just walking in and saying, here you go, do you want these? And they say, okay, yes. And then I bought 500 more, and managed to sell all of these, just going to those same shops and then going to a few more. And that was just like a start of what I was doing. It's nothing special, but it's something where even if you're doing something very basic and something simple, you can still learn. I still learn about the fact that it's easy to sell if you have a product that people want. And it was interesting to see how quickly you could sell. You could walk into a shop and within 2 or 3 minutes, you sell 100 cases and you've made profit. Or you walk into one shop and you think, I could probably only sell 50. You end up selling 200, 300. So I'm just saying that you can start anywhere, and you don't need to be embarrassed about where you start. You just need to start, because there's so much learning that you get once you start and once you get out there. After this, I went on to, so I was managing projects in companies, and at the same time, I put together an app. So it's an iPhone app called Taskaway, and I failed. This is another failure of mine because, so what this did is, if you want a handyman, so in the UK, like if you want an electrician or a plumber or something, you'll be able to go to this app and find them in your local area, and basically procure them to come in and help in your house to fix stuff. And I did this app. I spent so long putting this app together, the logo and all of this, and you know, just all of the technical part. But it didn't work in the end. One thing that I learned here, and the first most important thing to tell you guys is, I mean, I had never worked in the construction industry before. I just knew that this would be something powerful, but I didn't know anything about that industry. And then at that time as well, I was actually nervous to speak to people, because I was saying to myself, I'm not in the industry. When I phone them and speak to them, they might just look down on me or something like this. And because of this did not work. So I want to explain to you that even if you have a good idea, if you are looking at yourself and you think and you're doubting yourself, actually this can really go against you in business. Yeah, and I'll explain it a bit more. So even if you have a good idea, and there's other learnings as well that I want to share about this one here, which could have gone well but didn't. Another one that I learned is around, because we're talking about technology here. In terms of technology in a business, technology is one part of this. It's one part of the business. We always think, okay, there's Facebook, there's Twitter. Oh, tech is everything, but actually it's one part, and I will show you and explain. And feel free to ask questions, and this will actually lead into the customer experience element, which I want to quickly share. So I read this book called Lovability. It's an interesting book. It's about how to create businesses that people love, because it's very important. If you create a business that people love, they're going to stay with you for their life. And this is what you want. So if you look here, they have something called the complete product experience. And if you see this, technology is only one part. So you go and you build an app. A lot of times in the tech world, people are thinking, okay, if I build this, I'm going to be successful. No, that's just one part of the experience that you need to produce. So the first thing is to say that technology is only one part. You need to be looking at the whole picture. And the other thing to point out is, when you're looking at innovating, you can actually innovate in any part of this as well. Yeah. So you can look at marketing or sales or even just the general policies. You can innovate in this domain as well and gain a competitive advantage and start taking customers from your competitors. So it's just to point out that when it comes to innovation, you don't have to just look purely on technology. You've got to be open-minded in that sense. So customer experience, actually, it's about looking at the journey from the customer's perspective. A lot of times we're here and we're looking at, oh, this functionality, this feature from a technical perspective. But actually, in business, if you really want to be successful, you've got to look at things from the customer's perspective. And what we do is we map the customer journey. So for instance here, if you look at online shopping, you've got search for different websites, browse the sites, evaluate your product, and they go into more detail, like they're searching on keywords and all of this. And here you can see okay, annoyed, okay, very happy. You see this? And these ones that are just okay, these ones that are, the customers a bit annoyed, these are all opportunities. Yeah. So whatever sector that you're going into, the first thing I think is very important is to just get as much knowledge as possible, map these journeys out, and when you see that the experience is annoying or just frustrating or something like this, you know that there's a possibility there for you to make money. Yeah, because people pay for better experiences. It's as simple as this. So this is one thing I wanted to share. So that's part of customer experience. I won't go into too much detail on this, but I thought this would be useful for you. The other thing I wanted to share is this: what women want. I'm going to try and go a bit faster because I've got some cool stuff to show. So, in What Women Want, I don't know if you've seen this film, but you can learn a lot. So, basically, as part of this, Mel Gibson, he is he's designing some cosmetics, female cosmetics products, some makeup and stuff like this. And you can learn a lot from him. And this is something that every business owner should be doing. A lot of them do, some of them don't. And I didn't do it at the start, actually. So I learned this myself. First thing, he went out, he's designing these cosmetics products. He went out and saw what it was like to be a woman. He's just doing different things that women are doing, as you can see. What else does he do? He goes and tries it for himself. Yeah. So he's actually testing the product out on himself so he can get into the mind of a woman. Third, interact. So even before he's got the product there, he's going and speaking to the lady, asking questions, getting into as much detail as possible. And this is something that we should be doing as entrepreneurs. So making a business work, I'm just moving on now in terms of my learnings. So I'll go quite quickly because I probably got 5 minutes left. So, firstly, we all know about things like Porter's five forces, pestle analysis, SWOT analysis. But when you think about a business, you have a few elements. The first thing is when I was starting my business, I said, okay, I'm going to be training, I want to be consulting, I've got a good network of other consultants who can help me as well. The first thing I want to do is be able to attract clients. I need to be able to communicate a clear proposition. This is what we are offering. Once I've done that, I need to get into the sales process. So I meet someone who is in the target market, and then we need to sell to them. Once we've sold to them, we need to be able to retain that client. And depending on what business you do, each element of this can be harder or easier. For instance, attracting clients. If you just have a grocery store and you put that on the high street or somewhere where a lot of people are coming past, yes, you're going to be able to attract clients very easy. If you are going for B2B and you are going for banks or something like this, obviously this is a lot more tricky. And on top of this, just in terms of the numbers, you need to get through to probably two or three people, key decision makers in that specific bank, for instance. So it's a lot more difficult to get. So the first thing is you've got to gauge for each of these, how hard is it, to communicate your proposition? Is it something like, okay, I am selling an orange or an apple? This is obvious. Or is it something more complicated? I am selling an AI technology or solution to tackle issues in retail banking or da da da. It's more complicated, and the more complicated it is, the harder it is to sell. So this is helping you when you're working out how are you designing your business with the sales process. If you're just buying some vegetables, you can make that sale very quickly in a matter of seconds. If you are selling something complicated in technology, it could take even 6 months, 9 months from the time that you meet someone. Retaining clients also is very important. Are you just going to do one-off projects where someone needs your services for 3 months, or is it something where that you can retain them and they need you every single month for the next however long? You've got to actually look at this, and this will help you to work out where to focus, and this will help you to work out if the business is right for you as well, because some people don't want to wait 9 months to to make a sale. Some people want to make sale in 1 month, 2 months. So this will help you on this. Yeah. So I'll be really quick because I've probably got 2 more minutes, and I'll just go to my learning. So what did I do? Obviously, if you look back here where it says attract clients, I needed to attract clients. I was a nobody. No one knew who I was. So what did I do? I started something called Customer Experience Brussels in Belgium, where we basically ran events. So I picked up the phone and I went like this. I looked on LinkedIn. I said, okay, which sort of companies do I want to attract? Um, and I just said, okay, let's put an event on for these companies. And I literally phoned up one after the other like this. Some of them, I don't get through. Some of them I get through. Some of them I just get the email. And I just say, I'm putting on an event. It's about this topic. Da, da, da. And then this is what we started. And this ended up being a not for profit after 1 year of just running events. So this was me just getting, attracting the clients basically. After this, I went online, started running events online, did a lot of global stuff, and yeah, we have events where we have people from across the world joining, and this is very positive. So I'll be very, very quick because I've probably got 2 or 3 minutes left, I guess, and I'll quickly just share some learnings that I've got, if that's okay with you. Yasna, if I have to stop, just tell me, but I will just be very quick at this point.
That's okay. You can take 2 3 minutes more, please.
Okay, good. Okay, good. So learnings, I'm gonna do 1 minute for each learning. I'm gonna share about 3 or 4. Okay, so firstly, partnerships. If you are messing with me, you are messing with my cousin. Actually, when I was young, I had a big cousin. Sometimes I would have some problems with the local people in the area. They're trying to bully me, and I would just call my cousin up and I said, "Listen, can you help me, please?" In business, it's the same thing. Just because you are 1 person or 2 person company or 5 person company does not mean you're a small person. If you have partnerships, you can really leverage those partnerships and you can do some great things. So, for instance, one of my partners is a leader. They are here on the map here. They're in the Gartner quadrant, and I can use them. If I have to, if I'm selling, I can call them up anytime and they can help me with my PowerPoints. They can come into meetings with me. They introduce me to clients. You can make partnerships, and they're very powerful. So make those partnerships, and when you make them, use them. Yeah, that's the first thing. The other thing I want to mention, which is very important, is your insecurities will hold you back. So at the start, when I was doing my business, years ago, not this time around, but years ago, I would say, "Oh, I have to speak to this company." I'm looking in there, and I'm like, "Oh, I don't want to speak to them. They're a bit older, or maybe they will judge me for this or whatever." And actually, you're just holding yourself back with these sort of thinking, and thoughts. At the end of the day, if you have something valuable, go and sell that thing. Go and do what you have to do. Don't. And I will go to the next slide quickly because it's the same on the same lines. Free your mind. A lot of times with the culture, and we, like, my background is like a Caribbean background, and we have respect for the older generation and stuff like this, and so you have this respect and stuff, and sometimes that can actually hold you back in itself. So you have to free your mind in the sense that you cannot be scared or something like this. Whatever is in your head, that is what's going to happen, and you don't want to be saying to yourself, "Oh, I'm when I go to that meeting, I'm worried that this company, they're much bigger than us, or this person has got much more experience." Da, da, da. No, just go to that meeting and do what you have to do and do it the best you can. Yeah, so that's something to point out. And the other thing is to create your own opportunities. I'm sure you've seen the Michael Jackson, the man in the mirror. Yeah. So before I was saying to myself, "Oh, I'm a clever person. I've been doing this, I've been doing that, managing some big projects and programs. I hope that I meet the right person and they're going to help me to take it to the next level." Before I was like this 5 years ago, and then I changed. I realized that no one is going to give me something. I have to create my own opportunities, actually. And this is one thing in terms of entrepreneurship. Don't think that, oh, someone owes you something or the world is against you. Just create your own opportunities. Yeah. So basically, it's only you who's limiting yourself. Yeah. Anyone here can go and create the next Amazon or eBay. It's not something that's not achievable. The only thing stopping is ourselves. And last one, I mean, I do have more, but I know time is short, so I'll just do it to the last one. um, Pick up the phone and start dialing. I'm sure you've seen Wolf of Wall Street. I mean, I don't respect his, some of the stuff in this movie because he's the way they treat women and stuff, and there's a lot of bad jokes. But in this, um, even before the idea is there, one of my friends he said to me, "Oh, I want to start. Da, da, da. I'm a bit worried. I don't know what to do." Da, da, da. I said, just go out and speak to people. Go and speak to businesses. You don't have to have an idea or a product that's working or anything. You can just go and pick up the phone and speak to them, and some people already give you some help. They say, okay, this person is someone who's actually thinking ahead and being innovative and trying, and the as you try, more people will basically come and help you. So pick up the phone and start dialing even before the idea is there. You can already do that. I will stop there. I've got some more, but I think I'm a bit over time, so I really appreciate this. And guys, if you have some questions, just put them in the chat. I can see some stuff there already. uh I don't know, but